comment down below. Hey y'all, I'm Madeline Monahan, but you can call me Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to show you guys a little project that I had been working on. You can see Sitka's in his little cubby back there. For Preptober and for NaNoWriMo, a lot of people like to make their own little workbooks and prep books and just a book or a folder or something that they like to compile everything into. I did something kind of like that. I took all of the different plotting mechanisms, is that the right word? All the plotting mechanisms is what we're gonna go with, that I normally like to use when I am plotting a story. I am not a plotter per se. I would actually say I'm much more of a pantser. Planter, actually. I plot to a certain degree, but when I actually sit down to write the story, I tend to just kind of go for it. So me taking the time to sit down and like plot things is actually impressive. That's a step in the right direction, I think. So I'm going to show you guys the little NaNoWriMo Preptober workbook that I created for myself. I am going to give you all a full warning. It is not pretty. It's very messy, but it's something that I think will be very helpful, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So let's go. So here is my notebook. It is just your basic notebook. I mean, I think this was $8, maybe less at Walmart. Very simple, nothing fancy schmancy, and it's definitely not going to be fancy schmancy on the inside, let me tell you. I have this all set up for NaNoWriMo 2020. I looked at the color scheme for this year and it looked like it was kind of this like blue and yellow, so I thought that would be kind of fun. So I have my little title page, if you will, which is just a brief overview of what my project is going to be, the title, a quick summary, list of characters, and just anything else that I need to know before I dive into it. Next page I have settings, so where and when is my story happening. I will fill that in here, and then depending on where I decide on the location or the locations in which the story is taking place, I will then go to the research and I'll just jot down quick notes about what was happening during that time period in this place, what life was like, what people were like, etc. And this is just so I have an idea of the time period and so I can make it as authentic as humanly possible. Next, I have my character descriptions. Now these are for my main characters, and I know for sure this NaNoWriMo I have 2 main characters, and normally I like to have 2 main characters because I like having that dynamic for them to work off of, and I think it's fun to have multiple perspectives in a story. So I have my 2 main character description pages, and it was a side note, so I just put it in a black marker up top. I have my main character 1, what their name is, what their physical appearance is, what their personality is like, and what the motivation in the story is for them. And then the same thing with my second main character. Next, I have my supporting characters list, and this is usually going to be smaller, always. I normally have anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes 4 supporting characters, depending on the story I like to tell. So it's similar, just smaller, quicker notes. And that's not to say that I don't go into my supporting characters. I still really like my supporting characters. There's still love for them. But as far as like notes go and just sort of plotting them out, I tend to just take shorter, quicker notes. And so then I have my antagonist page, and I did this fun little checklist because I realized that your antagonist can either be physical or abstract, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. So you check one, and if they're physical, you basically give the same descriptions, and then at the end I added any redeeming qualities, because sometimes an antagonist does have a redeeming quality, or 2, or maybe even 3, who knows, you know, or maybe they're not even a bad person, they're just trying to justify what they're doing. I like to think of Javert as an example for redeeming qualities, because yes, he does actually have a lot. So that's why I put that down here, is because it's possible for your antagonist to be redeemed. Take notes, Disney. If the antagonist is abstract, just to write down quick notes on what it is, what their motivations are, or what, you know, if it's an organization, what the motivations are for them. And then next I have my character map, and this is kind of a fun page because it's sort of a fill it in yourself. And so for this page, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to write down the characters' names and then draw, you know, arrows and maps. I just hit my camera, draw arrows and maps between them, and just sort of write above the lines how the characters are all connected. So yeah, so how do they know each other? How are they connected? And just so I have an idea of what the relationship between certain characters should be, I think this is a good way of visualizing it. And then next, of course, is my brain dump. It's just anything that comes to mind goes here, anywhere I want it to go. And then once I have dumped my brain, I will start to sort them, the ideas, into different categories. So whether I think they should happen at the beginning, middle, or end, they'll go in here. And then this is just little notes, space for notes that I can take while I am sorting it. And if you're wondering what this nonsense is, well, let me go to the next page. My marker bled through, so not quality paper, that's for sure. So this is my plot map. So, you know, it's your basic little roller coaster of your basic points that you need to hit. And I just think this is a good place to start when you're plotting. So I'll start here, just have quick little notes. Again, quick notes, and then I will move on to my plot dot, which goes a little bit more into detail about these different parts of the story. So you have things like ordinary world, inciting incident, plot point, pinch point, midpoint, pinch point again, I have my camera, plot point, final battle. You know, so it takes this and expands on it a little bit. Expanding on that is my bullet notes, and I normally like doing bullet notes when I am plotting a story. I like doing like chronological bullet notes of what happens, just so I have an idea of the whole story and I don't feel like anything's been left out. So this is for my bullet notes, and you can see it all bled through. And then we go to my favorite plotting device. This is the 3 Act 9 block 27 chapter structure. I have used this so religiously, and it would not make sense for me to not put it in a NaNoWriMo prep book. So this is from Katie Tastic's channel, I believe. And a lot of these are actually just ones that I've come up, or not come up with, but ones that I have found over the years that I've just have discovered have worked for me. So none of this, I will say, is original to me, but it's everything that I think has been really helpful to me, and that's, I think, more important than it being original, at least in this case. So here I just have like a quick chart of what each act looks like, what each block looks like, and then here is where I actually write down what happens in those moments. And then I have my NaNoWriMo survival gear checklist. So I've got coffee, fuzzy socks, snacks, water bottle, probably should say a full water bottle, cats, because I have cats now, as you all probably have seen, extra notebooks, sticky notes, pens, and friends. I have so many wonderful new AuthorTube friends who are also doing NaNoWriMo, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get through it without them this year. I went through NaNoWriMo without AuthorTube friends last year, and it was still fun, but I think this year will be even more fun because I will have my friends to cheer me on, and I'll be cheering them on, and it'll just be a fun little circle of hurrahs, hurroos, hoorays! So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then this is my November/NaNoWriMo schedule page. I just hit my camera again. I need to stop doing that. So in each of these little boxes, I'll write down times that I want to write, times that I think will be best for writing, and then just kind of to track my progress as I go. It'll kind of fit into this little schedule. So this one is particular to NaNoWriMo. I'm not going to put any of like my school stuff in here because I just don't want it to get jumbled. I want it to be strictly for writing. Yeah, I can't wait till I get there. And then this is another fun thing that I found along the way. This is a NaNoWriMo word count tracker. And so basically you have this chart that lays out what the daily goal is, how much you actually do, what the word count goal is for those given days, and then what it actually is, and then you have words to go. So you can count down until you get to 50,000. And it's kind of partnered with this rewards system. I spelled rewards wrong. See, I told you it wasn't pretty. When you hit these different numbers, so I think it's every 10,000 or so you give yourself a reward. I have yet to come up with rewards. I need to go look and see what it is I want in life and put those as rewards. Last NaNoWriMo, I actually gave up my favorite burger joint for the entire month, and I was not allowed to go back and get a burger from them until I hit 50,000. I don't know if I want to subject myself to that again this year, but it worked last year and I was so desperate for a burger I finished in 2 weeks. Burgers are a great motivation sometimes. This is my NaNoWriMo mood tracker, and I actually didn't do anything like this last year. I wanted to do it this year because last year for NaNoWriMo, I ended up getting really sick afterwards, and it's because I was not taking care of myself. I was not drinking enough water, I was not really sleeping well, I was not really doing good by me, if that makes sense. I wanted to do this mood tracker so I can kind of keep track of how I'm feeling on each day during NaNoWriMo. Hopefully, if I notice that I am feeling, you know, annoyed or anxious or sick or something, that I'll be able to sort of catch it in this. So that is why this is here. This is for my health, because your health is very important when you are a writer, or really when you're anything. You just need to always take care of yourself first. So that is why this is here, so that hopefully I can catch if I'm feeling a certain way before it ends up making me sick at the end. Fingers crossed. And this is just a page for notes to take along the way, just asking, you know, how's it going? How are you doing? And just sort of jot down like how I'm feeling, how I feel like my project's going, and just so I can keep track of really my overall attitude during the project. This looked a lot cooler in my mind, I will say. It's supposed to say NaNoWriMo reflection, and then I wrote it backwards because it's a reflection, but the gray was a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. So it looks like this. This is just where I'm going to write down everything and anything that comes to mind about how I feel or how I feel I did at the end of NaNoWriMo, and once or if I hit 50,000 words for my project. So this is just kind of a nice little space for me to have that final brain dump and get everything out and then go to sleep. And then ends with a "You did it! Yay!" A little happy yellow. And on to the next one, and then my next NaNoWriMo little workbook will start here. And so there you go. There is my NaNoWriMo Preptober little workbook. Took me about, I'd say 6-7 hours or so to make, mainly because I was getting tired of all the lines and everything. There you go. There is my notebook, and I can't wait to get started using it. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hoped you enjoyed this video. I'm really hoping that my little workbook turns out to be really useful, because there's a lot of pages left in here and I would very much like to use this little book again. I had a lot of fun making it. I have a lot of fun with just colors. Colors make me happy. I'm excited to have a prep book that's all my own, that's made literally just for me. So hopefully this will help me get through Preptober. Hopefully it'll help me get through Nano. And hopefully I will love it enough to want to make it again next year. So we'll see. So comment down below, let me know what y'all think of my little notebook. If you guys have any kind of like Preptober workbook or NaNoWriMo workbook or trackers or bullet journals or something that you guys like to use, go ahead and let me know. I actually really love making bullet journals. I realize I love making them, not so much using them, but I love making them. I love making little charts and graphs and stuff, which is weird because I hate math, which is full of charts and graphs. I'm excited to know what y'all's Preptober and NaNoWriMo are gonna look like, so go ahead and leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and maybe ring that bell if you so choose. As always, there's never any pressure, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Comment down below and let me